Hello everyone, welcome to Madridista Notes. Let's talk about the European Super League. The European Super League, that's the baby, that's the dream of Florentino Perez. I think it's one of the legacies that he wants to live with, like the great Bernabeu left with the Champions League. He was one of the founders, he was one of the influential people to start that competition. I think Florentino Perez sees the European Super League as something that evolved, like the evolution from the UEFA Champions League, because the kind of financial might in the Premier League right now, the other leagues cannot match it by any means at all because of the TV naming rights, TV rights, and lots of other situations. The Premier League right now has become the European Super League, but people doesn't want to talk about it. Even though I understand that because 2 years ago, a couple of years ago, because of this, Real Madrid became the universal villain in the football world because Florentino Perez went on to that dumbass show El Chiringuito, and there he didn't really market it well. It was a little bit tone deaf from the get go. They didn't really do the planning well. They started it off as a closed league, which doesn't really give any kind of merit, like, merit based football where you fight for the place in the Champions League. They made it a closed league, which had a detrimental effect. The fans were really in uproar. Some in England, the government made some stuff happen that the all the clubs in England then backstabbed the European Super League one by one. They start leaving. Then the Italian clubs left, other than only Juventus. Then only whatever was left with was Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus. Now, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus has again revived the European Super League, and we will have to see how far it goes. Let's check out some of the reports coming out about the Super League. According to Telefootball, new European Super League is back. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus have contacted more than 50 clubs for the new tournament. So I'm guessing they have understood that this cannot really be a closed league only with some of the best teams, some of the most influential clubs in Europe. So they are gathering more teams to get the support behind this league, support behind this movement. So, they are not only looking at the clubs with the best fan base, the most financially, I don't know, strongest club. They are going a little broader this time. Let's keep reading a little bit. European Super League is announced multi-division competition, so it won't be like only 20 clubs or something. It will be multi-division, like, we have La Liga, then there is the second division, then there is the third division. I guess it will be something like that, 60 to 80 teams. So that explains why they are contacting so many teams. No permanent members. Last time there were permanent members, the founders, the big clubs, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, some of the English Premier League clubs, they were the permanent members and they would always be in it. They have voided that rule. Minimum 14 games per club per season. These are according to Telefootball. So like in Champions League, if you get kicked out from the group stage, you only get to play 6 games. So in this competition, the clubs are going to get a minimum of 14 games if they qualify for the Super League. So it gives you more revenue. The revenue stream are gonna be higher for the clubs competing in it. So I guess that's the idea behind this. The new ESL proposal wants to fully replace the UEFA Champions League. That's according to Telefootball again. So this format, this competition, of course, is the direct rival to the UEFA Champions League, and it's understandable they want to replace the Champions League and take the Champions League place. So there is going to be a huge war between the Super League and UEFA. They are already going on some court cases against the European Super League founders who are still um, moving with this movement, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Juventus. But I think Florentino Perez is the one who is spearheading it totally. He is the main guy. And I think as long as these clubs keep pushing for it, and after seeing the financial might of the English Premier League recently, some of the smaller leagues, I think Italian league, they are not financially good right now. German league is totally different because their fans own 49% or 59% of that the clubs. So they are not going to go with this movement most probably. I think some French clubs will be interested. Italian clubs will definitely be interested. Then there are the Portuguese clubs, the Dutch. I am not sure. So some of the clubs around the biggest in Europe are definitely gonna be interested because they cannot compete with the English Premier League. They get picked off by the Premier League clubs. It's not even the biggest Premier League clubs anymore. Even the relegation fighting clubs can go and sign a player like Zaniolo from Roma. Bournemouth can go to Roma and pay the 35 million to 40 million clause for Zaniolo. And that's just not right. That's just weird. Like this club's 20th place club can go to a Champions League level club in Italy and by their one of the more talented players. It's a little bit unfair, not even competition. So I think lots of clubs who are getting totally dominated by the English league will be interested. I don't know if the English Premier League clubs are gonna be interested anymore because the government went on and the English government has passed some laws or something like that, I think. So it will be little difficult for the English clubs to get back into this Premier League. New Super League and the telefootball continues that the new European Super League project is a detailed conversation between a lot of teams who are faced with unnecessary financial problems. So, as I was talking about, the Italian league, French league, Portuguese league, Dutch league, lots of these leagues who cannot really compete with the might of the Premier League would be happy, I think, to join a league like this one. I think UEFA won't go away, but I think it can happen that the breakaway leagues are gonna start their own competition. It will be a total war between the ESL and UEFA. Telefootball then adds for the past few months, the ESL have focused their attack on the Premier League clubs, their dominance on the transfer window, and the effect it has on other European leagues with less lucrative TV deals. And totally understandable, the Premier League's dominance in the transfer market in the money league is totally unprecedented. It's getting way out of control, to be honest. What the Chelsea owners did, what the Manchester City, Manchester United, are doing regular basis are something that most clubs cannot really compete against. So you can understand where these European Super League clubs are coming from, where Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus is coming from. UEFA are not a really innocent organization. They are corrupt and they don't really. I don't know how they deal with the money process, but the clubs who are the biggest in the world, they feel like the division of money is not being done well and there is not enough transparency. So I can understand why they would want to monitor that division of money themselves and want to control the flow of money themselves. English clubs backstabbed the ESL project. They agreed to join to create a new league, but at the same time, they were also working with UEFA to create the new USL format that starts in 2024, according to Telefootball. And there was a really dumbass format created by UEFA after they saw that what can happen if the breakaway European Super League gets legitimized. So they increase the number of teams and increase the number of matches, and it's like something like the bastardized version of European Super League. So they are not some innocent organization. They're as corrupt as it gets, like FIFA, anyways. And so there have been some blowbacks coming on from the usual government body, European Club Association, ECA, the president or whatever it is, the PSG Al Khelafi guy, and you understand what kind of people are those. So whatever they say has no value to me at the very least. Barcelona president Joan Laporta has said the European Super League is progressing. It will be an open competition, more attractive and sustainable for the clubs. So there it is. It's not like only Florentino Perez is talking this time. Someone else is talking too. It's better. Keep Florentino Perez out of the limelight this time at least. I don't want us to become the super villain once more. And there is a breaking news. La Liga president Javier Tebas has decided to exclude Real Madrid and Barcelona from La Liga meetings in which TV rights deals are decided and has stripped their rights to vote. The reason for the exclusion is Real Madrid and Barcelona's push and planning for the European Super League. So the blowbacks are gonna keep coming, and it's understandable. Javier Tebas has been against the Super League from the get-go. He has been campaigning against Real Madrid, Florentino Perez. He's a really weird guy. He's a really, really weird guy. He doesn't do the what needs to be done. He doesn't take action for the more important things that happens in La Liga, the incompetence of the referees, the racism problem, the kind of um, modernization of the game, how they need to really improve the timing of the league, the timing of the football in the league, because the timing that they do, the schedules of the matches are really, really bad for the fans in Asia and many sides of the world. Like even at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., it's really, really not a good strategy from the Spanish league. Javier Tebas, they really need to rethink lots of stuff. They are getting more and more left behind by the Premier League. When Real Madrid and Barcelona have been dominating the Champions League, you would understand, you would have thought that we would get something out of this domination. But with Javier Tebas and this corrupt La Liga and the Spanish Association, they haven't been able to do anything at all. So in my opinion, let's go with the European Super League. If the corrupt UEFA, the corrupt Javier Tebas, they and the English government and whoever are against it, I would really support these people. If these people are against something, I would support that. And I think with Florentino Perez, he really wants to make it happen, and he he's the Real Madrid president. Unless he gets voted out, he will go still persist on it. And Barcelona, Juventus, I think it will happen. It will happen. In what format, I don't know, but it will happen, and we need to get behind it, as or else there will be division, and with division they will take Real Madrid out of lots of stuff. So if the president is spearheading it and going for it, we need to get behind it. As long as he doesn't, because he has been neglecting the team and doing his other projects, the Super League and the new Bernabeu project. He has been really concentrating on those instead of concentrating on the shortcomings of the team right now. I don't know if he wants to give the, you know, like we already are 8 points behind Barcelona, and according to statistics and history in the last two decades, after going down 8 points in this position, in this situation and time in the league, no other team has been able to win the league from this deficit. So I already think with the kind of depth our team has, we are not winning the league. And I don't know if you wanted to give Barcelona and Joan Laporta this gift, because they are buddies when it comes to the Super League. So as long as he doesn't really neglect the team and adds to the team, and instead of becoming a little bit complacent with the signings, he can do the other project. I don't mind it. He can do the Super League, he can do the new Bernabeu project, but do not neglect the thing that makes Real Madrid Real Madrid, and that is the team. You need the team to be successful on the pitch. If you want to do things off the pitch, don't just keep doing off the pitch stuff and neglect the on the pitch problems. You know, make solutions, get solutions for the on pitch problems that we are having, and back your manager, back Carlo Ancelotti. Now let's talk about Robert Renan from Zenit St. Petersburg. He is a Brazilian center back. He is left footed, and Zenit St. Petersburg has only recently in January transfer window signed him from Corinthians. He is a left-footed CB, 186 centimeter, 19 years of age, and the reports came out that we have been monitoring him for some time. So it's understandable from our recent strategy of going for young players. And if they're Brazilian young players, then of course double down. So our scouts have been scouring the Brazilian market for any good enough players or whatever, because we seem to be focusing on the Brazilian market a lot. So the reports have come out today that we are thinking on of offering somewhere around 40 million euros for him to Zenit St. Petersburg after the Club World Cup. But his agent and Zenit St. Petersburg has recently, come out and said it's false. It's not going to happen. The reports are false. So I don't know. I think we are monitoring him and we might make a move. I am not really uh, you know I don't think it's came out of nothing. There is something there, as he is doing really well in the Brazilian under 20 team too. He has the potential from whatever I have read about him. And the in Corinthians, whatever he has played, whichever teams he has played against recently, he has done well, and he's up and coming with potential. With potential, he's a left-footed CB. Left-footed CB right now. We only have in our team. David Alaba, and I'm guessing if we 100% go with David Alaba, they wanted to transition David Alaba to left back permanently, but Alaba didn't want it. If we are looking to transition Alaba, so it makes sense. And to be honest, we should sign him because he can be the fourth choice center back, and it's not a problem to have quality depth in our team. But it looks like we are only looking to add more depth where we already have quality depth because Alaba, Militao, and Rudiger with Nacho and Vallejo, it's I think good enough depth. And in midfield, we are looking to Bellingham, but we are not really going for the places where we don't have depth. So the fans are already annoyed at this news because they want us to buy. We want us to go for a right back, um, a right winger, a backup striker first before we go for these signings. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Have a good day, good night, wherever you are. See you next time. Hala Madrid.